Heyo, Andre from GrowthMate here. Imagine that a potential customer need a tool for their team. Instead of opening dozens of websites, they ask AI systems. Within seconds, the system recommends several products and companies. But what happens when your company is not included? The potential customer may never discover your product. They may not visit your website or compare your offering. This is where GEO becomes important. GEO focuses on improving visibility inside AI-powered search experiences. In previous videos, we've discussed backlinks and referring websites quality. Now we'll connect those concepts with content and technical accessibility. We'll follow the complete journey of online information. First, a system must discover and access a page. Then it must understand and evaluate the information. And finally, brand may appear inside the AI-generated answer. By the end of this video, you will understand this process. You will also learn how to begin improving your AI visibility. Let us begin by defining GEO. So GEO stands for Generative Engine Optimization. It is the systematic process for improving visibility in AI-generated answers. This process includes the website and its content. It also includes the brand's presence across external web sources. The goal is increasing the probability of several outcomes. The brand may be discovered by an AI-powered search system. It may be mentioned directly within an answer. A specific page may also be cited as a source. The term GEO was formalized through academic research presented in 2024. The researchers created a dataset called GeoBench. It included 10,000 queries and related web sources. They tested how changes to available content influence generated answer visibility. In their controlled environment, certain techniques improved visibility metrics. This included adding citations, statistics, and references to reliable sources. Some configuration produced relatively improvements reaching 40%. However, this findings requires careful interpretation. The study does not prove that statistics guarantee real-world AI citations. It also does not guarantee indexing, traffic, or business results. A useful comparison can make GEO easier to understand. SEO helps make your storefront visible on a busy street. GEO helps guide, understand, and explain your business. The guide must find accurate information about your company. Then it must present information to the right audience. This explains why GEO not replace traditional SEO. It relies on many of the same fundamental principles. Pages must be technically accessible, the content should be useful and accurate, links should be natural and contextually relevant. The brand should also have a clear presence across the web. To understand GEO, we should examine how AI answers are created. We can broadly separate this into two different scenarios. In the first scenario, the system provides an answer without visible sources. It may not show links to current web pages. In this situation, identifying the exact information sources becomes difficult. We cannot always determine which content influences a specific statement. In the second scenario, the system uses web search or retrieval. It searches for relevant content and selects potential sources. Then it generates an answer supported by web links. This allows us to open cited pages. We can inspect which sources the system selected, also evaluate whether our company appears within those sources. Google often describes this general approach through retrieval augmented generation. It also commonly abbreviated as RAG. Search systems retrieve relevant pages and analyze their information. Then they generate an answer supported by selected web sources. ChatGPT search can also generate refined search queries. It can display links connected with its answer. Claude web search can include citations. Perplexity also builds answers using information from web sources. These platforms use different algorithm and selection system. However, they share one important practical requirement. Your page must be accessible, clear, and useful as a source. GEO does not begin with clever prompt wording. It begins with reliable information being available on the web. Another important concept is called query fanout. A complex question can create several smaller related searches. Imagine asking how to build a comfortable home workspace. The system may search separately for chairs and lighting. It may also investigate monitor placement and noise reduction. Another search may focus on organizing a small space. This has important implication for content strategy. Your page does not need to repeat the original prompt exactly. It may provide excellent answer to one part of the question. However, this does not justify creating thousands of artificial pages. You should not generate a separate page for every prompt variation. Instead, focus on genuine questions and audience needs. The difference between SEO and GEO should now be clear. Traditional SEO helps web pages appear in search results. Its purpose often includes bringing users directly to the website. We normally measure traditional SEO through several indicators. These include rankings, impressions, clicks, traffic, and conversions. GEO introduces another layer of visibility. Does the brand appear directly inside the AI-generated response? This visibility may take several different forms. The system may mention the brand without linking to it. It may cite a specific page as a supporting source. It may also use information from the page inside its answer. These outcomes should not be treated as identical. A mention is not automatically a citation. A citation is not automatically a website visit. A visit is not automatically a business conversion. Each stage requires separate measurement and interpretation. An AI answer may satisfy the user without generating a click. Therefore, traditional traffic metrics cannot show the complete picture. In simple terms, SEO supports discovery in traditional search. GEO extends that work into AI-generated information experiences. It examines how systems discover, select, and communicate web information. Before thinking about citation, you must open the door. Technical accessibility is the first practical requirement. Imagine publishing the strongest research in your entire industry. However, the web page is hidden behind a locked door. The crawler cannot open the URL. Import text may not load correctly. A firewall or security system may block the access. In this situation, excellent content cannot become a current web source. If a crawler cannot access the page, it cannot analyze it. Begin by checking whether the crawling is allowed. Check whether the page contains a non-indexed directive. Review whether the canonical tag points to the correct URL. Make sure also internal links can lead crawlers towards the page. It is important to understand the role of robots.txt. Robots.txt can control access to the certain website areas. However, blocking crawling does not always guarantee index removal. Critical page content should also be available reliably in HTML. Google can render JavaScript in many situations. However, different bots may process JavaScript differently. You should check what each relevant crawler can actually access. A CDN or firewall can block a bot unintentionally. Bot protection system and hosting configurations can create similar problems. Different platforms may also use different user agents. OpenAI documents several separate crawlers and user agents. OAI search bots support ChatGPT search functionality. GPT bots relates to content that may be used for model training. ChatGPT user can open pages following a specific user action. Anthropic also documents separate user agents. This includes Claude search bot, Claude bot, and Claude user. Perplexity, as an example, uses Perplexity bot for its search-related functionality. It also uses Perplexity user during particular user requests. Do not assume one configuration works correctly for every platform. Review each platform currently technical documentation separately. Crawler names and policies may also change over time. Most importantly, remember one limitation. Allowing crawlers access does not guarantee indexing or citation. Opening the door is only the first step. The system must also find something valuable inside. An accessible page does not automatically become a selected source. Imagine that the door is open, however, the page contains only vague marketing statements. The crawler can read the content, but the system may not find specific information worth using. For example, consider this statement: "Our innovative CRM is completely changing the game." This statement sounds confident but provides almost no useful information. It does not explain who the CRM serves. It does not describe which specific problem it solves. It provides no details, plans, features, or limitations. Now compare it with a clear and specific product description. Explain the audience that the product is designed for. Describe the problems it solves and how its features work. Clarify what each pricing plan includes. State important limitations honestly. Show when the information was meaningfully updated. This information is easier to understand, verify, and reuse. Several content elements can make a web page more useful. Clear definitions help explain complex topics. Original research and data provide information unavailable elsewhere. First-hand experience can demonstrate practical credibility. Step-by-step instructions help users complete a real task. Comparison help understand differences between several options. Honestly stated limitations can make information more trustworthy. The original GEO research found benefits from citations and statistics. However, this happens within a controlled experimental environment. Recommendations from Google and Microsoft also emphasizes clarity. They highlight supportive evidence and people-first content. The primary objective should still be helping real people. Structure each web page human understanding first. Use headlines that clearly communicate each section's purpose. Organize information through logical paragraph and transitions. Use lists and tables only when they improve understanding. Do not treat one format as a magical geo factor. Adding an FAQ section does not guarantee citation. Writing only short paragraphs does not guarantee AI visibility. Breaking content into tiny fragments is not automatically helpful. You also don't need to write artificial robot language. Avoid mechanically creating pages for every long-tail query variation. Instead, answer real and meaningful questions. Content freshness also requires careful judgment. Update information that genuinely changes over time. Examples include pricing, product features, and regulations. Statistic and software versions may also require regular updates. However, do not change publication dates without meaningful content updates. You should also examine consistency across your online information. Compare the main website with the Help Center. Review company profiles and important external directories. Do key factors contradict one another? Do different pages describe the same product differently? The less ambiguity exists, the easier correct interpretations becomes. However, a brand story does not end on its website. AI system can use information from many external web sources. This may include official documentation and independent research. They may also include blogs, videos, reviews, and comparison pages. Directories, forums, and professional communities can provide additional context. Open the sources that already appears for your important topics. Assess their topical relevance and editorial quality. Check whether their information is recent and accurate. Examine how they describe your company and its competitors. This process reveals where the informational landscape is already developing. It also shows which external platforms may deserve your attention. This is where link building becomes important for GEO. Your website describes your company from a first-person perspective. An external editorial page places the brand into a broader context. It can explain why the product belongs within a particular category. Links also help users, crawlers, discover the original source. They can support organic visibility and generate referral traffic. However, a valuable backlink is more than a clickable URL. The referring page should explain why the resource matters. The surrounding content should connect naturally within the destination. The link should also be crawlable and correctly implemented. Focus on topical relevance and editorial quality. Use anchors that sound natural within the paragraph. Choose destination pages that provide genuine value. An Ahrefs study examines 75,000 brands. The study reported statistical relationship between several web signals. Branded anchors and overall mentions showed stronger relationships with AI visibility. The studied environments included ChatGPT AI mode and AI overviews. Basic link volumes metrics showed weaker relationships in that analysis. However, statistical relationships do not automatically prove direct causations. The practical takeaway is broader than simply acquiring more backlinks. Build a recognizable and relevant brand presence across the whole web. A strong editorial placements can support several goals simultaneously, the ones we are doing at GrowthMate. It can support SEO and referral traffic. It can also improve the brand's broader information presence. After publication, monitor the placement's organic visibility. Track whether it generates traffic, mentions, or citations. You have to avoid tactics that damage credibility. Do not use forum spam or fabricated customer reviews. Also, avoid irrelevant listicle placements created only for link acquisition. Do not distribute identical promotional content across dozens and dozens of websites. A strong strategy requires a truthful and useful external representation. Focus on sources that your real audience actually needs and reads. Now, let us combine everything into a simple starting process. Step 1. Create a query set. First, create a small collection of real customer questions. For an initial benchmark, use approximately 10 to 15 queries. The exact number is not a universal standard, it simply provides a manageable starting point. Include several different types of search intent. Some questions should be informational, others can focus on problems, comparisons, and recommendations. You can also include questions mentioning your brand directly. Imagine that you're analyzing visibility for a CRM software. One question could be, which CRM works with team of 10? Another could ask, how is a CRM different from a sales engagement platform? And a third question might be, which CRM tools integrate with Gmail? Step 2. Test the queries. Test this question across several relevant AI systems. Record which companies appear inside the responses. Track which web pages the system cite. Also, check whether your product is described accurately. Also, identify which external publication influenced the answers. Do not draw conclusions from one individual test. AI responses and cited sources can change. One represents only a short and temporary snapshot. The next step is identifying visibility gap. A competitor may appear more frequently than your company. An AI system may cite an article that omits your brand. Your website may not answer an important customer question. The answer may also depend on outdated and or incorrected information. Step 4. Choose the correct action. Once you understand the gap, select the appropriate action. Fix technical access when crawlers cannot reach the page. Update the content when important information is outdated. Add verifiable evidence when the page makes unsupported claims. Create new content when an important customer need remains unanswered. Sometimes an external article appears repeatedly in AI answers. The article may discuss your product category without mentioning your brand. Open the article and evaluate it carefully. Could your product improve the article's usefulness naturally? Do you have relevant data, expertise, or an appropriate resource? If the answer is yes, this may create an outreach opportunity for you. You could suggest a useful editorial improvement. The article may then mention your brand naturally. It may also link to your most helpful destination page. After making improvements, one important question remains. Did the changes actually work? There is no single universal standard for GEO measurement. Therefore, divide performance into several separate levels like mentions, citations, cited pages, and AI share of voice. Mentions. A mention occurs when the brand appears within the answer's text. Citations. A citation occurs when the answer links to a source page. Cited page. Cited pages are exact URLs referenced within response. AI share of voice. AI share of voice compares visibility against selected competitors. Different tools may calculate these indicators differently. Always review each platform's methodology before actually comparing results. You should also analyze the accuracy of a brand description. A frequent but incorrect mention is not necessarily a positive outcome. Track traffic from AI platforms separately where possible. Then evaluate conversions and business outcomes independently. Backlink data becomes more useful when combined with other evidence. Compare it with mentions, citations, referral traffic, and conversions. First-party searches platforms may also provide useful information. Google Search Console may offer generative AI performance reporting. This reporting is available only to the websites with access to this feature. Bing Webmaster Tools provides AI performance data. This can also include citations, cited pages, ground inquiries, and trends. Broader monitoring platforms can provide additional analysis. Examples include Ahrefs' Brand Radar, SEMrush offers its AI visibility toolkit, Peak AI and Ranking AI also focus on mentions, citations, and competitive visibility. These tools can help monitor pages and source domains. They can also track changes over time. However, always understand how each tool collects its information. Now, let us summarize the complete journey. GEO does not begin with mysterious AI hacks. First, the system must be able to access the page. Then, it must find accurate and useful information. And finally, the brand needs a credible presence across external sources. This process can be organized into three main areas. The first area is the technical accessibility. The second area is the high quality and useful content. And the third area is brand's external web presence. Link building remains an important part of these systems. Backlinks help pages become discoverable, support traditional organic visibility, and connect brands with relevant external context. Prioritize editorial pages that match your topic. Make sure the brand is described accurately. Also, use naturally crawlable and contextually relevant links. Most importantly, provide clear value for the reader. To begin, create a set of real audience questions. Test those questions across several AI systems. Record mentions, citations, and descriptions accuracy. Then identify the area that requires improvement. The problem may be technical. It may relate to content quality, or it may involve the brand's external presence. At this point, I hope GeoNR feels less mysterious. It is not simply a collection of random AI tactics, it is a structured process that can be measured and improved. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Peace.